I'm going to skip one chapter that I will come back to it later in fiqh, because there is no time left actually. So next week, inshallah, we'll start with fiqh. So I'm going to skip one chapter and go straight to the adhan and iqamah. What is the difference between adhan and iqamah? The meaning of adhan is what? Call to prayer. What about iqamah? Call to what? Adhan from udhun, hearing. Literally, adhan is information, communication. That's literally what it means. Allah mentioned it in Surah At-Tawbah. وَأَذَانٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. Second ayah of Surah At-Tawbah. وَأَذَانٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. That's literally, technically, adhan is information of time of prayer. Time of prayer. While iqamah is what? Information of beginning. Now we are about to begin. When you hear the adhan, that's a call. The time of prayer has come. The iqamah, it's the beginning of the prayer. And that's why when you call the adhan, you want people to come. So it's made aloud. And in our time, when we have microphones and speakers, you use them. But what about the iqamah? You don't need that, because the iqamah is meant for the people who are inside, who already came, to stand up, to be ready, to start the prayer. That's one difference. What else? Adhan, let's say you're a traveler, and you wanted to combine Dhuhr and Asr. How many adhans do you make? One. How many iqamas? Two. Why? Because at this case, now you combined, so the time became one. You could pray at the beginning of the time or at the end of the time, and that's why you call adhan one time. The iqamah, you call it twice for every prayer. So for every time there is adhan, for every prayer there is iqamah. Since the adhan is to people outside, it will be slower and more loud. The iqamah for people who are already inside, it will be faster. What's the ruling on the adhan and the iqamah? If you prayed, now we do pray here, right? We do pray jama'ah. We just prayed Isha. Who called the iqamah? You did, right? Did you call the adhan? Is our prayer valid? So what's the ruling on the adhan? The ruling on the adhan, is it obligatory? No. It is what? Sunnah. What if you didn't call the iqamah? I was in a hurry, I went up and I said Allahu Akbar and I started. Is the prayer valid? Yes, it is valid. But you left sunnah. That's all. It is sunnah. We took that in fiqh. The sunnah before the prayer, adhan and iqamah. That's the opinion of the vast majority of scholars. But some scholars said actually the adhan is fard kifaya. The Prophet ﷺ, when he sent military expeditions, he would tell them, wait until you hear the adhan. Why? If they hear the adhan, that means those people are what? Muslims. So you shouldn't attack them. So imagine Muslim people living in a Muslim country, in an area, and nobody is calling the adhan. Some scholars said the entire ummah is blameworthy. So it is fard kifaya. But the vast majority of scholars said what? It is sunnah. The purpose of the adhan is what? Now, we call the adhan for what? to inform you of the time. So it should be at what time? Do you call the adhan before the time? No. Subh prayer, doesn't it have two adhans? Now this is a sunnah that very few people do. Only in some places in the entire Muslim world, Mecca and Medina, they still do have that. There is the first adhan. Jumu'ah prayer, does it have first adhan also? It does. So are you calling the adhan before time or no? But that's for subh prayer. Generally, when do you call the adhan? At the beginning of the time. At the beginning of the time. So here, why didn't you call the adhan? You just called the iqamah. Because we heard the adhan. Very good. If the adhan is called, you didn't need to call the adhan. But say we are sitting here and we didn't hear the adhan. Then do we call the adhan? Yes. But if we heard the adhan, we don't need to call the adhan. It's already called. It was at the beginning of the time. Not at the beginning of the prayer. It was at the beginning of the time. How about delaying the adhan? In Ramadan, if you noticed, if you've been to Saudi, Isha adhan is delayed half an hour. Why? You have a mission to fill your stomach. So they delay the adhan for how long? Half an hour. Is that permissible? Is that permissible? Really? So if they just do it, that means it's permissible? What do you think? Have you noticed that? They delay the adhan half an hour. What's the ruling on that? This is the issue that many people don't realize. The adhan should be called at the beginning of the time. If the adhan was not called, does that mean the time did not come? Or no? When the adhan is not called, the time came or didn't come? It already came, but the adhan was not called. It doesn't matter. The adhan is not stopping the time. The adhan should be called at the beginning of the time. But just because the adhan was not called, it doesn't mean the time didn't come. So when they are delaying the adhan, are they delaying the time? No, they're not delaying the time. They cannot delay the time. I delayed the adhan, it doesn't mean I delayed the time. So therefore it is permissible. They're not telling you that you can pray Maghrib until now. No. And that's what some people don't realize. They say, I will not stop until I hear the adhan. What if the muaddin was late? What if he wanted to call the adhan but he had a heart attack? Or the mic was not working? He thought there is electricity but there was no electricity. And it happens sometimes in some countries. You didn't hear the adhan. Does that mean the time didn't come? No, it already came, but you didn't hear the adhan. So therefore, when they delay the adhan, they are not actually delaying the time. They are delaying what? Just the adhan, that's all. Conditions of the muaddin. You want to call the adhan. Where is the qibla? Now here, when we are sitting here, where is the qibla? It's that direction. So am I facing the qibla? No, I'm facing the camera. So I want to call the adhan this way. Is that permissible? Is it permissible? What do you think? Do you have to have wudu? Is adhan ibadah or not ibadah? Is it ibadah or no? It is ibadah or no? It is ibadah. Is wudu required for it? No. Because if you say yes, where is the evidence? Yes, it is recommended, of course, because it is ibadah, and the better you do the ibadah, the better it is. But it is not a must. Therefore, if you don't have wudu, it is permissible. If you're not facing the qibla, it is permissible, but it is not recommended. In some countries, mu'adhin, that's official job. Paid, just like the imam. So to call the adhan early, this would be to be on time before the imam and be ready and everything. That's why in some places they build the mu'adhin's place really next to the masjid. And in one case, this is a case that I know. The mu'adhin, what did he do? He extended the electricity to his room. So he's on his bed, turning on the mic and calling the adhan. Now, this is permissible, but it is not appropriate. It is not recommended, because this is ibadah. But you are lazy, you don't want to get up and make wudu and face the qibla and be inside the masjid. And that's what he did. The words of the adhan. How many sentences? Count them. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. How many times? So how many? Allahu Akbar, how many times? 4. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. After that, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. How many times? 2. That is 6. Then, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. How many times? 2. That is 8. Then, Hayya ala salah, 2. Hayya ala al-falah, 2. Allahu Akbar, how many times? 2. And then, La ilaha illallah, how many times? 1 time. How many sentences? 15. Whose opinion is that? Do you know that there is difference of opinion when it comes to the adhan? There is a form that is called tarji'. What's the meaning of tarji'? It's like rehearsal. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. What did I do? I did it very low, and then that's called tarji'. This is the adhan of Abu Mahdura radiallahu anh in Mecca. Based on this adhan, how many sentences? 19. The 15 and 4, 19. So there is difference in the adhan. Scholars differed on the words of the adhan. Some scholars said it is 16. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. At the end, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, twice. Everything is twice, except for the beginning. Allahu Akbar, 4 times. There are actually 4 opinions when it comes to the adhan. So I want you to read from the book. Just know that scholars differed. And actually it's one of the opinions of Imam Shafi'i, tarji'. Have you heard this form of adhan before? Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. No? Because it should be practiced from time to time. Many people don't know that. This is called tarji'. If somebody did it now and people heard it, what they will do? They will think he made a mistake. No. See, the adhan did not come in one form. The point is to call the adhan. But how to call it? What are the words? There are 4 opinions. I accept from you knowing at least 2. 2 are enough. 15 and 19, that is enough. Or the 16, it's up to you. So that's it, inshallah. Any questions? Please do read from the book. The hard copy, it is page 119, if I'm not mistaken, 119. Okay, see you inshallah next week. No, I'm sorry. Next year, inshallah. Next year. Yeah, why you were so worried? It is an end of a year. So people, when it is their end of year, they keep checking profits, losses, how much money we made, are we still going to be employed? Here you have the end of the year. How many hasanat have you made? Are you successful? How you will begin your new year? So make sure you end the year with a good deed and start the new year inshallah with a good deed. Okay, see you next year inshallah.